How's it going, Sha?
Oh, it's not bad. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm actually I'm realizing that uh being emotionally like present is like new for older people. And like
Okay.
yeah, like so my dad is in North Carolina for like a week.
Mhm.
We've been doing some business down there.
Mhm.
And unlike myself, his kids are older, so he's able to like kind of go down there, check stuff out.
Right.
And like whenever he goes, if it's more than like 3 days, the
Mhm.
calls start getting more emotionally depressed
From him?
from him. Like he'll
Okay.
he'll be like, yeah, like he starts sounding more and more like sad by the end of the call
Mhm.
or by the last set of calls.
Mm.
And I'm trying to explain to him that like, yeah, that's called like emotion, you know? Like that's what like me and the other kids in your life have been telling you about.
Mhm.
Like like when like we say like, hey, I feel depressed, and you like, nah, that's not a thing. This is the thing.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's been like eye opening, like seeing him uh become like emotionally awake
Mm.
at 60, you know? Like
Is
he's like learning that it's valid.
is he accepting that? Is he like, "Oh, okay, I see what they're talking about," and that, or is he still like trying to fight it?
He's accepting that it's a real feeling.
Mhm.
Still doesn't believe that like therapy is valid. He thinks you just like get through it.
Okay.
So like it's a step in that direction
Mhm.
because he's cognizant of like, oh, I feel weird. And I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, because you live in a house with four people and a puppy,
Mhm.
and you own property, your family lives around you, you walk around Brooklyn, everybody knows you. Like
Right.
you have a routine of constantly bumping into people you rock with.
Mhm.
And then you went to not only a place where you don't know people, but a place with like no people.
Right.
Like you're in
Yeah.
like he's in like a side city of Durham.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yo, my G, like it's quiet in Durham,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you in a town that feeds off of that. Like, yo, uh, there's gonna be some quiet days there. You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
he
yeah,
was telling
yeah.
me the corner store closes at 7.
Right.
I was like, yeah, that's different energy. You know what I mean? You got to get
Mhm.
used to that. So uh yeah, it's been interesting hearing the phone calls from him, especially because like I recently went through this like awareness of how much my energy comes from being around my people.
Yes.
So like admittedly, I'm more sympathetic than I normally would be. I think
Right.
I would have been like, yo, man up, because that's the energy I felt he would
Oh,
have wanted me to give him because he gave it to me.
right. Yeah.
I would have felt like this is what he's trying to hear. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's been fascinating. Cause it's the first time I think I gave him advice that wasn't money centric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like usually when we talk, it's like what's the best to make the most money. That's our whole relationship. Like me and my dad had bonded when he realized that like I'm relatively business savvy too.
Okay.
And that's kind of been most of our talks.
Mhm.
And I cover a hole in his game, because I know like not that I know computers, but I am in that age where like I know more than he does about it.
Right.
So like I cover his tech game.
Mhm.
But like he had like there's a business he copped down there that is starting off slow. And he's emotionally invested in it. And I
Mhm.
told him, I was like, yo, my man, you good, right? Like you doing this shit for kicks.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we don't need money. Like all your kids are old. You already
Right.
have enough. You and mom are chilling.
Right.
The whole reason I'm even encouraging this whole North Carolina movement is because I want you to be, cognizant and mentally exercising. So if you find it exciting to open
Mhm.
up this business, rock out.
Mhm.
But if it's bringing you emotional toll and you feeling stressed about its success, fuck that thing. Like you don't need it.
Right.
Sell it come back home. We have a beer tomorrow.
Right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's not necessary for you to be dealing with that.
Mhm.
And but it hit me that like we were having like a real, I think it's our first real conversation.
Wow.
Yeah, like for real, like talking how we felt. I don't think we've done that before. Still centered
Man.
around business, mind you, but
Yeah, well, that's your entry point.
yeah,
Yeah, you gotta start from where you're comfortable and then build out from there, so I get that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
Wow.
whole thing. Yeah, I was like, I when we got off the phone, I felt different. I was like, oh shit, like I think we had like a real talk. You know, it was wow. Yo,
So
38 years, baby.
when do you think the next one will be? Another, like, 10, 15 years?
Yeah, give or take. You know.
Yeah.
That's yo, like that's a half life right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true,
Straight up,
that
we
does mark
improving.
change.
That's
Mhm.
it. But yeah, because I know like he's still like he's gonna shake this one off. You know,
Uh-huh.
like and while this is progress, I don't think he'll want to admit what it's progressing towards. Like I don't think he'll
Right.
want that yet. I
Mhm.
think it's good, but I don't think he knows it's good yet. So his
Right.
instinct's gonna be to fight it off,
Right.
which means he's gonna double down on whatever he's working on down there.
Mhm.
And that like I know his next call is gonna be aggressive. Like it's gonna be like way too hyped about some shit and
Right.
way too like directive. Like he's gonna ask me to do something that's not going, but he's not gonna ask.
Mhm.
And he's gonna realize it later, but he's gonna like demand I help him with something, and
Mhm.
it's gonna be like real pushy.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause I think he needs to like compensate for
For what just
emotionally
happened.
revealing with me.
Yeah.
And he needs to double down to make sure the business gets to what he envisioned before, now that
Mhm.
he revealed the motion to me. Yeah,
Yeah, he can't be bleeding on these phone calls for nothing.
at all. No, that's not
Yeah,
his MO.
right.
Yeah, nah. But it was moving to me. Like I was like, this is dope. Like this is a good moment. I'm glad like he has it. Like I'm happy that he has it in him, you know? I think it's
Yeah, I mean,
important.
that's good. Everyone has the capability for change. It's just they have to acknowledge it and want it for themselves in some way, or I mean, even if they want to, they have to not be completely closed off to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he probably doesn't really wanna change, but he also, in your discussion, acknowledged that, "Alright, this is a way that this is a thing that I've always thought, and I'm learning that there are other ways to think, and now it's affecting me, and I acknowledge that this is real."
Yeah. I'll take that.
Which yeah, that's a big step. That's a huge step.
Yeah. What's the latest you've seen grow from somebody like that?
Um, oh, geez. Uh, I don't know. My mom had a little moment of growth after she had a stroke.
Okay.
Growth also happens when you are have near death experiences. There's some growth that can be had.
Okay.
So she was I remember I was going out, um, she had had a pretty serious stroke, and so, I a few years later, I was going to hang out with a friend who, was, uh, a guy that I had dated. I think I was dating him at the time that my mother had the stroke.
Mm.
We were not dating at this time that I was post-stroke that I was going to hang out with him, but I was just like, "Hey, I'm going to hang out with this dude." And my mother was like, "Oh, will you tell him I said I'm sorry?"
Okay.
And I went, "Huh, you're sorry? What'd you do?" She was like, "Oh, just tell him I'm sorry." And, I said, "Are you sorry because you were kinda mean about me dating this white guy? Or did you do something to this guy?" She was like, "No, it's 'cause you were dating this white guy." And so I just didn't like it. So I guess I was kinda mean to him. Not that they had many interactions,
Right, right.
and interactions that they had, maybe she was mean to him, but maybe she was also tired from getting off work. Like, they didn't really he wasn't around enough. They didn't hang. So I was just like, so I'm like, oh, these were like thoughts that you had. This is
Right,
probably
right.
what you expressed with other people. And now you want me to tell them that you're sorry for feeling and doing that way because you're alive. And I said, okay. I said, is there anybody else you wanted me to tell sorry? And she named the dude that I dated in high school. And I was like, see, now you were kind of nice to him. So if you were saying terrible things about that kid, yeah, I'll let him know. I don't think I ever told the two dudes in question, um, or that I needed to. I think that was just how she acknowledged that she was being the way that she was,
Hell yeah. That's
and
beautiful.
how she was just like, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that."
That's
Um,
dope.
yeah, but she couldn't say, "I'm sorry to you, daughter." Instead, she was like, "Tell those dudes I said I'm sorry," and I'm like, "They weren't the ones you were talking to."
You don't
They're
owe
too
them a thing.
Yeah, you owe them a thing. They're too dumb to know if you were mean to them or not.
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's a
Yeah,
step
so
in
it's
that
out there.
they got like, cause I feel like I'm gonna be that way. Like I already know I'm stubborn,
Mhm.
and I think I'm open minded, but I know I'm getting more stubborn by the day.
Yes. Yeah, you are because 'cause you're getting older
Yeah,
and you're tired.
exactly. I feel like
Yeah.
it's just part of the process. So like I constantly like I tell my kids, I tell Michaela in particular, like, yo, listen, I think I'm a cool dad. I think I'm pretty open minded, but like
Mhm.
I promise you, Pops thought the same thing.
Right.
And
Yes.
I know he does things that's off. And I was like, there's a reason to like when you think of your grandfathers, like, do you think of love, but also they're like weird in an odd way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have as many weird stories of your parents as you do of your grandparents, even though you had more contact usually with your parents, you
Right.
know? So like there's a reason for that. They just weird, they stubborn, and they set in that, and that's dope. I think that's the beauty of who they are, and I know that's gonna be me one day. So like, I was like, be patient with me when like, I say some wild shit when you like 30 and you like,
Right.
yo, like
Just
that was
know
out of
that that's
pocket.
what that's I know that the world is changing.
Yeah.
The world is always changing, and I'm gonna ride with it as much as I can. I'm very big behind this because I'm dealing with it and watching it all like right now, because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm entering those years where I could just stay where I was and be like, that was the best that life ever was, and it's never going to get better. And anything you bring me that's not that is bullshit. And
Right,
I'm like,
right.
that's not the way to be.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to adjust, but it gets harder and harder because things are shifting faster and faster. And all the time I'm like, wait, what now? Oh Lord, but whatever that feeling is of like, oh, give me a break. And then you get that out of you and then you try to move in the direction that you want to move in.
Yeah. I did a show recently with a comic that I enjoy, and she's cool. She's I would say in her late 40s,
Mhm.
and it was a show that skews younger.
Mhm.
So on the lineup there was a lot of liberal comics that were far more comfortable expressing themselves. So there were members of like the LGBTQ community in the audience as well as in the lineup.
Mhm.
And one comic prior to the show, the host asked the comic what were their pronouns. They
Mhm.
said they them, and they like the comic and the host had like a fun interaction about that because like it was like a congratulatory thing because she used to be a she
Uh-huh.
and did her transition. And yeah, it was beautiful seeing like the host and the comic kind of have this moment. And
Right.
then this other comic who it was their first time in this show.
Mhm.
I saw them witness the moment, and then when the host went to introduce the comic on stage
Right.
and they went up, the older comic pulled me aside and like she was like, "Hey, was they a boy transitioning to a girl or a girl transitioning to a boy?" And I'm explaining to them kind of like what I'm like, well, I was like, admittedly, I'm not positive. I didn't hear the whole thing. They're a
Right.
they now. Um, but that's kind of all that I care about, whatever they need to know, whatever they want me to call them today. But like I felt like that was their first time experiencing that close.
Right. Yes.
And like it was like I felt like the I guess the what's the right word for this? The vulnerability of them like,
Mhm.
hey, like I can't ask this in front of to anybody else because I know if I say it to someone else in the room, they're
They're
gonna
gonna
view it as wrong.
right.
And then also I'm genuinely trying to work like learn.
Mhm.
And the words they used were clearly like still like rudimentary like of
Right. Yes.
I've never been in this world, so like the it's like when someone asks as a comic like who's your favorite comic, it felt like that a little bit too, like is it boy to girl, like I've been in this world enough that I also know it's more nuanced than that,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that's their level of understanding right now and they're trying.
Sure.
And it
Yeah.
was like legit, that was equally beautiful to me as the prior moment of
Right. Yeah.
seeing the other two kind of come together and seeing each other go through the journey of transitioning and finding their identity. It was
Mhm.
beautiful to me to see this older comic say, "Hey, listen, I don't get all this, but I want to learn more."
Right.
And yeah, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool. Like
Mhm.
admittedly, I'm happy they whispered, you know, because
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yo, like I'm glad you're learning, but yeah, like your phrasing is way off on all these questions.
Right. But
So
I mean,
but
you
you're
gotta
heading in the
ask
right
or else
direction.
you yeah, or else you're gonna continue to like you won't know until you ask.
Exactly. I was like, yeah, like if you don't ask, you're gonna be ignorant. So like I'm glad you're asking. But yeah, it was just a fun convo of like, nah, this is how I'm reading this.
Mhm.
And then like by the end of it, I was like, I think you have enough where like as long as you're doing that uh and putting out good energy, you'll be fine. And they'll most people will kind of skew you the right way from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it brought it brought me joy like to see that you could, I think that's a lot of it, like as you get older, like just continuing to try,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely. It's tough, but I feel like uh it, I would just feel stagnant if I didn't,
Hmm.
right? And I mean, and it's still and it is truly tough to just be like, okay, let me learn what this part is. Or, it's very easy to just be like, nope, I stop. I stop
Right.
here. But I'm now in the business of talking about what is going on and like how can you stop? Things are going to keep going on.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of people who, they will stop and others will stop with them and they will be fine, but I don't want to.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I
Hell
don't
yeah.
want to. So, good on your dad for accidentally learning about emotions.
Yeah, real talk. I'm proud of him. Like
Yeah.
sincerely, I'm happy he was willing to feel those things. I'm happy he was willing to share them. Because there's two types of things that like that means he's doing right now. Like he's doing the
Mhm.
emotional thing, and he's making an effort to stay mentally sharp by like going down there and opening up businesses and kind of like re-establishing like that his mind is still sharp and that
Mhm.
his thoughts matter and that he can be creative and ambitious still, just in a different way.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's dope. And I guess the third thing being is that I like that he's balancing it, that like winning isn't always just money.
Right.
It could be other things. She's ill. Shouts to old people, baby. Let's do it.
Yes.
Old people, this for y'all, baby. I rock with y'all this week.
Oh, wow. Old people, this is for y'all.
Hell yeah.
However you managed to find a podcast, we appreciate it.
That's it,
And this is for you.
Sincerely. All like 1% of our listeners are over 65. But
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
All
vibe with
right.
y'all, sincerely. Good peoples. It's dope, man. Let's get into the news.
All right.
Philippine lawmakers want to make ghosting illegal. That's right. If you don't holler back in the Philippines, you may soon be breaking the law.
That's the legitimate first line, by the way. The legitimate first line of this New York Post article is if you don't holla back, HOLLA back in the Philippines, you may soon be breaking. I just want to make sure. I want everyone to be in the spot that I am in reading that and going, I'm sorry, what?
A
Okay.
writer wrote that. An editor said, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yep. Let it rock.
That's probably exactly how you responded. Yeah, let it rock.
Yeah, let it rock.
Legislator in the country wants to make ghosting someone there an emotional offense with penalties potentially including mandatory community service.
Oh,
Ghosting defined
man.
as when someone cuts off all forms of online and phone communication can activate the same pathways in the brain as physical pain. Representative Arnolfo Tevez Jr. wrote in his explanatory note along with the proposal, which was posted to Twitter this week. The ambiguity with ghosting is that there is no real closure between the parties concerned, and as such, it can be likened to a form of emotional cruelty and should be punished as an emotional offense because of the trauma it causes to the ghosted party.
Who didn't call you back, baby?
Real talk, B.
What happened? What Arnolfo?
Arnolfo, you
What
snitching on
happened?
yourself, bro.
What happened, baby? Who who had you waiting by the phone? Who was it? They don't you've gotta they're never gonna give you the closure you need. You've got to find it within yourself. Man, talk about emotions.
For real.
Like, don't making it against the law is not going to stop people from doing it. How do you even like enforce that? What am I supposed to do? Go down to the police office and write a report because this dude didn't call me back or he's not answering my text? I look nuts. Don't do it. Don't do it, baby. You know what? You mourn it for a little bit and then you just do your best to move on. And then at some point you just won't think of them anymore. I bet they'll probably try to contact you the minute you're not really thinking about them anymore. Either way, you got to let that go. You can't hold on to it. How are you going to have a law that is basically for clinging to someone who doesn't want you? That's no good. That helps no one. Ghosting for some people, ghosting is like a huge. People hate it. Some people love it.
Yo.
But either way, the ghosting is the closure.
Yeah.
That's the end. That's how they chose to tell you. Yo, don't think of it as they are not telling you. They are telling you. They're telling you with silence.
Exactly.
Go with that and go with God. But don't make a law out of it, baby. They're not going to call you back. It's not going to happen. Emotional offense. Yeah. Okay.
But if the bill, which is unlikely to pass, by the way, no.
Yeah. You think? Yeah.
The offense would only apply when two people are in a dating relationship, either living together or romantically involved over time and on a continuing basis during the course of the relationship. The explanatory note said. So it wouldn't be like friends. It has to be like when it matters, Sha. Okay.
Okay, well, here's what I think. First off, a friendship breakup can be more painful than a romantic breakup.
It's fair.
It can be very painful. That's the one that would keep me up at night. I mean, if some dude decides that he don't feel like making out with me anymore, I mean, ain't shit I could do about that. I'm surprised he got there to begin with. But like, let's not either living together or dating for an amount of time. They're not calling you back, bruh. Don't make a law out of it.
My two biggest breakups, without question, are El Final, my barber, when he disappeared. I miss that dude. That finale was dope. Wherever you are, if
Mhm.
you hear this, get the word out. You was
Right.
special, like for real.
Mhm.
And the dude at my deli, when he
Mm.
was by far the best dude with the sandwiches, and he
Mhm.
trained his staff different. You know,
Mm.
they were it was an era at my corner store. The dudes before them, it was trash. I used to cross the street to the other corner store
Right.
to get my sandwiches. It was very inconvenient,
To
but
cross the street?
it was, because you could see your corner store. I live literally next door to my store,
Right.
so granted, crossing the street ain't far,
Right.
but like I'm literally walking past my neighbor
Mhm.
because of how trash the sandwiches were when I first bought this house. But then this dude took over the store, changed the whole game, and then he
Mhm.
sold it like
Mm.
4 years ago. And these new dudes, they cool, but they not him. You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
different. Those are my two biggest breakups. And
They cool, but they not him.
yeah,
Oh,
nah,
boy.
it's just not the same. Me and
Yeah.
Gabby still like legit like reminisce about those sandwiches.
Oh, wow.
It was different. He was changing up the whole bodega business in the East. He was bringing in smoothies.
Mhm.
It was a good time. So yeah, and both of those ghosted me. Like, I think the bodega dude wouldn't have ghosted me, but like I went to go do road shows. He sold the deli
Mhm.
when I was gone.
Okay.
So when I came back, it was just new people. Then I never got to say goodbye. You know, it hurt. Yo, that shit hurt. You know,
It hurts, but you work through it, right?
you make it. I knew
You
I
d
knew he cared because he wiped my debt. Like I owed $22.
Uh-huh.
And I went to pay. He's like, nah, everybody. The new guy said, yo, your bill clean. So like, I thought that was like one last like, yo, I got you.
There
You
you
know.
go.
So I know in his heart, like we it meant something.
Mhm.
But yeah, nah, it was a moment. So like this law, I would want to hit him up. You know.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Oh, we all respond to ghosting in different ways, but I feel like making a law might be an overreach and may possibly explain why this person has not called you back.
yeah, I feel like ghosting is fine. I'm pro
Mhm.
ghosting. I just think
Mhm.
it shouldn't be like your like SOP. It shouldn't be like your standard operating procedure.
Okay.
Like
Mhm.
you should ghost because that's what this breakup merits.
Gotcha.
You know, it just shouldn't be your default. You got to have
Right.
a variety of breakup games.
I see.
You
So
know,
ghosting strategically.
yeah, like this is what this person and this relationship needs. This is what's right for this.
Mhm.
Other people need this, deserve this. Some people deserve this. Like you don't like if you getting a divorce after 15 years, you can't ghost that.
Yeah, no. Right, right.
I feel like that's a real like we gotta talk this out,
Sure.
you know? So yeah, I feel like ghosting is fine depending on the dynamic. There's nuance to it.
Yeah, yeah, there is a nuance to it for sure.
Yeah. In other news, a 75-mile long skyscraper is in the works in Saudi Arabia. That's right. The proposed mirror line is also taller than the Empire State Building. When you think of skyscrapers, you typically think of height, not necessarily length. Plans for a new monumental building in Saudi Arabian desert seeks to change that. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's plans for what is being called the mirror line have been seen for the first time thanks to a new report. The structure will feature two 1,600-foot tall buildings. For context, the Empire State Building is 1,454 feet tall, running parallel to each other for 75 miles, making it the largest structure in the world. The two buildings will span coast, deserts, and mountains and be connected by walkway. According to the plans, there will also be a high speed train that runs beneath the buildings because 75 miles. A
Mhm.
marina, a sports stadium, and a vertical farm. Prince Mohammed has likened the entire development to my pyramids. Yeah, this is not going to be cheap, by the way. The project is expected to cost up to $1 trillion dollars. I didn't know that number was real. $1 trillion. When all is said and done, it will also allegedly provide housing for as many as 5 million people. According to initial estimates, the structure may take up to 50 years to complete, though urban planners charged with designing it have been given a 2030 completion deadline.
What? So they're gonna build this thing in 8 years, 7 years?
Yo, we out here, baby.
Look, this is ridiculous, and I like there's no other way to I don't care if you call it my pyramids or not. And maybe I'm just the person who at the time of the pyramid stood off to the side and said, "What are y'all doing?" Like maybe I'm that person. Maybe I'm just that person. But this is a lot. This is a lot. Like what's supposed to be in the building outside of housing for people, which I mean, there's a picture of an artist rendering and it just looks like two big old mirrors. And I'm like, that just looks cold. That doesn't look inviting. Like it just seems ridiculous. So what else is supposed to go in these buildings? If they're not 75-mile long apartment buildings, then what are they? What is there supposed to be like a salon or like offices? Like, is this live, work, play? Is there an Old Navy at the bottom? Like, how does this work?
Yo, it looks like a screensaver.
It does.
Real talk. Like this is some imagined space.
And it also because it's mirrored, it's reflecting back, it's a mirror.
Yeah.
So looking at it makes it look everything looks vast. I don't know. It's not doing it for me. I don't know. This seems like too much.
Yo,
$1 trillion. Find out how much they built those pyramids for. Make the shit out of stone. Do something else. I don't know. Materials are so cheap nowadays.
Yeah,
the minute the wind hit, you're going to put that by the shore where there's water and there's wind. That shit's going to start bending over as soon as the wind blows. That's happening on these super skyscrapers here in New York.
Yeah.
Where they're building these apartment buildings that are extremely tall and go up to a point, but the elevators can't make it all the way to the top. They're always out of order. People's apartments are swaying. Like, what are we doing? And they done paid millions of dollars for an apartment where like the faucet broke after the first week and the whole building shakes. So what do you expect this is going to be?
Yeah, I want none of that. Okay, I'm not what it was that I'm not trying to do like the college sway dance at all in my apartment. This is not about it. I love that the final tidbit that it added the the mirror is gonna affect the migration patterns of birds.
Yes. Yo, who's cleaning these fucking mirrors? You think these birds ain't gonna fly into? Come on.
Yo,
other animals are going to be up here just scrapping at the. Come on, have we not watched a TikTok with a puppy discovering itself in the mirror and trying to kill the other dog? Like,
yo, shouts to mental hubris, man. You know what I mean? Oh man, people dream different, man. Rock on.
Yeah, they really do. That's ridiculous.
In other news, Zeta Kicks owed $70 million worth of sneakers and refunds to customers when it collapsed this spring, according to prosecutors. That's right. Federal prosecutors on Friday launched their criminal case against Eugene sneaker reseller Michael Malikzada, claiming that by April, he owed customers more than $70 million for undelivered sneakers. The government alleges that Malikzada's company, Zeta Kicks, defrauded thousands of customers. Prosecutors also leveled charges against Bethany Mockerman, Malikzada's fiance and the senior financial officer at Zeta Kicks, claiming she conspired to commit bank fraud. Prosecutors claimed that Malikzada's priced his sneakers below the market price, which attracted lots of buyers, but his sales price was also often less than what he paid. He knew it would be financially ruinous to actually deliver the sneakers, the prosecutors allege. He also delayed sending sneakers to his customers, sometimes for up to a year. He promised refunds or gift cards to customers who he stiffed but often failed to deliver. Malik Zeta allegedly spent the proceeds from the pre-orders on high-end cars from Bentleys, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis and other luxury goods. He spent more than $3 million just on the Louis Vuitton bags, purses, and other items. Malik Zeta managed to pull off the charade for nearly a decade. He founded Zeta Kicks in 2013. Some believed he was one of the largest companies in the shady world of sneaker resellers. In a 2021 credit application to American Express, Malik Zeta claimed that Zeta Kicks earned more than $17 million in profits in 2021 on a total sales exceeding $340 million.
That's what? Like, what? So you're just like, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll say I have these sneakers. I'll take everybody's money, and then I just won't send them the sneakers.
Yo.
And then I'll tell them I'll send them gift cards or I'll refund the money, but I won't. I'll just buy $3 million of Louis Vuitton bags and belts and shit.
Mm-hmm.
What?
They give an example in it. So, like, in fall of 2021, he began selling pre-orders for the Nike Air Jordan 11 Cool Grays. He priced the sneakers between $115 and $120 a pair, even though the retail price was expected to be at $225 when the shoe was released in December of that year. The bargain price attracted thousands. Prosecutors claimed that Malik Zeta received more than $70 million from orders for 600,000 pairs.
All right. When it came time to fill all those orders, he managed to secure just 6,000 pairs, not 600,000 pairs.
Yep. A little less.
And yeah, just a smidge. By the spring, disgruntled customers were showing up in Eugene, Oregon, which is where he was, at his house, demanding the shoes they had ordered or refunds. Holy crap.
Straight up.
Why would you? I don't know. This is wild. What? I'm always curious about brains that do this.
Yo, this is YOLO.
And also, to me, it's wild that you did this for cars. That you did this for Louis Vuitton of all things, tacky ass Louis Vuitton.
Come on, B, live better.
Ugh, like it's so basic. Like, what do we? You are willing to defraud all these people, have a few of them ride out to your house with fucking torches and shit over sneakers because you wanted to stunt on a hoe? Get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. Go away. Lock them up. Go away.
You deserve all this jail time.
You're unimaginative. And for that alone, you should be fucking... Because there's no imagination to your grift.
At all.
There was no I'll take your money and then I won't give you stuff. Yeah. Well, that's not even... You don't even have like a song and dance or nothing? Give me a song and dance.
Impress me, okay?
Impress me. Make me go, well, maybe. I'm gullible as fuck, but there's no finesse. And then you do it to buy a trunk. Get out of here. Go away.
You deserve all the time you about to get, my G. Peace.
Also, y'all, stop with the sneakers. Y'all ain't 100%. Stop with the sneakers. Just calm down. Wear the sneakers out. Do something with the sneakers. But just stop with the...
Hey, listen. Stick to eBay, StockX.
I guess. Do that if you got to do the sneaker thing. Yeah. But really,
go to the action store where they give you the sneaker.
Yeah. Yeah. That might be the way to do it.
Put it out there,
And I say this as someone who has like currently maybe 18 pairs of sneakers. All one brand. But I'm consistent. Some of those pairs are hella old. I'll still wear them.
That's beautiful. Size in the sneaker game.
Let's just say, no. I'm literally in the Saucony Jazz game. And not even the game, because there are some collectibles that come through, and I'm like, I don't like those colors though, and I don't get them. So I have an issue. It's not so much sneakers as it is retail therapy, but buying when I hurt. But otherwise, let's all just slow down with the sneakers, everybody.
Oh man, stop funding this dude's Lambos. Okay, he don't
Yeah.
need any more.
And
Finally,
don't fall for anything else he does, because it's going to be weak ass.
yeah, the comeback
Come on.
story is gonna be the same hustle.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a reseller of fitted hats and purses or some nonsense. We don't need this dude. Finally, Cracker Barrel offers impossible sausage made from plants, a new option for guests in select stores. That's right.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. We want to make sure everybody feels welcomed at our table. And
Wait.
Yeah.
Stop right there. I know you didn't just say that, Cracker Barrel. Your name is Cracker Barrel.
Lying through their teeth on this press.
Lying.
Oh man. Starting the week of 9/14, we will continue to expand our test offering of impossible sausage made from plants as a breakfast side at nearly 50 of their stores. For our guests looking for a delicious plant-based option, or those who just want to try something new, this is sure to be a winner, says the press article.
Yeah, we're reading this directly from the blog.crackerbarrel.com. So you're wondering who's still blogging? Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, right here. That's their demo. Blog reading, want to try vegan sausages, but still want real meat for the rest of the meal.
I mean, if you're the kind of person who's like, I think I need a plant-based sausage. What happened? Why are you at Cracker Barrel?
Oh man, what are you balancing?
And also, it's only at 50 of their stores, and I'm willing they pick the 50 stores that are in an area where you could go elsewhere. You know what I mean? Where Cracker Barrel isn't the only game in town.
Right.
Because you can't pull this on people where all they eat 3 times a day is Cracker Barrel.
Nah, B.
And they order sausage, and you give them some fake shit. That there will be smoke in that town. There will for sure be smoke in that town. So that means we're looking at bigger places like Chattanooga or something, like, you know what I mean? So like, that's wild to me.
I mean, again, I gotta say that this reminded me of my dad, you know? Old people trying new things, you know? He ain't gonna get it right.
Well, let me tell you. Okay. My dad did a lot of cooking, right?
Okay.
And so one day, it was after my parents had gone to the DeKalb Farmers Market.
Yeah.
Shout out to the DeKalb Farmers Market. Y'all know who you are. You're huge. I love you. They had gotten all their, spices and vegetables and all kinds of shit that you can get there. And the next day my dad's cooking breakfast, and I come out and he's cooking sausage, but to me, in the pan, it looked a little weird.
Okay.
And he's the only one in the kitchen. And I look at the packaging, and the packaging says soy-sage, SOY Sige. And I said, soy-sage? And he was like, shh, be quiet. Shh. I'm going to give this a try. So when he bought soy-sage and he cooked it up, he wasn't going to say nothing to nobody. And he was just going to put it on our plates and just give it to us. Now, we're not even necessarily a family that always ate together at the table.
Right.
But so he was just like, all right, soup's on, whatever. So people just came out from their holes, which was just me, my mother, and my sister from our individual bedrooms coming out, grabbing a plate, snarling at each other, and then going back into our rooms to eat. So I'm like in the living room eating this, and I'm trying the sausage, and I'm like, I don't know, this isn't very good.
Right.
And again, this is like 80s technology. This is like I was like maybe in high school. So this was like late 80s. This was before what we have now. Like, I'm telling you, young people, if you knew what they were attempting to do with soy-based meat before, you would eat Impossible burgers and shit all the time. They've made great strides, but this was before that. This shit was in a block. It was crumbly as hell. He was trying to keep it together so it would look like a. And so I'm sitting in the living room, and suddenly I hear my mother yell from her room, "What is this? Lonnie, what is this?" And he's like, "It's eggs and sausage." She's like, "This ain't, what is this?" And then it's just quiet for a minute. And then I hear her go, "Sausage." And I'm like, yeah, this wasn't going to work. I don't know what you were thinking, Pops. But there was no way this was going to work.
Oh.
Sausage. Also, you trying to fool someone from Middle Georgia. Come on. That woman knows how to break a chicken's neck. She said, you grab them and you swing them around. That's what you do to break the neck. I'm like, why are you telling me this?
You thought she was going to do sausage?
You thought she was going to buy sausage?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, now vegan products have come a long way.
They've come a long way. So that's what I think about whenever I see like it Impossible, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, sausage, I see you out here with a makeover. Got you Botox and shit. Okay.
Oh, man. If you would like War Report themed vegan products.
Oh, boy.
All you got to do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. That's right. If you are an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't know how good the War Report bacon, egg, and cheese vegan sandwich will taste. Phenomenal, let me tell you. Okay?
Yeah, with you behind it, absolutely.
100%. 5 stars, you know it's going to taste good because you know that I'm still going to make real meat products and just tell you it's vegan. You know, taste come first. Let the technology catch up, okay?
Yeah, okay. That's a little. I don't know if I'm 100% behind that one, but you know.
Now I'm gonna call it real fake vegan products. That's what I'm gonna do. That way, it's like not real, but I'm saying it up front.
Oh, so it's real. Wait,
real fake
vegan.
Okay,
yeah. So the quotations around the fake vegan product.
Yeah.
Okay. Check the punctuation on your packages, everybody.
Now
to make sure you don't get got.
But it's going to be delicious, I promise. Okay. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo, at Gastor Almonte. Much appreciate you, FCVLJ, and to Davida Karanas for sharing articles this week. Thank you so much. With all that said, I am the future vegan health food product tycoon, Gastor Almonte. Always with the head of tasting. Shalewa Sharpe.
I get it from my mother.
That it is soy nonsense is passing by our doors without meeting the grade, okay? I want every single product to taste just as good as the Cracker Barrel stuff. The real stuff.
The real stuff.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? I want a bacon, egg, and cheese hash brown casserole that you know took a year of your life, but it's worth it. You know? This has been a heart-clogging episode of the War Report.
It absolutely has.
You know what I mean? Catch y'all next time. Peace.